Hello, artful friends! We are back, as promised, Jordy, KW, and today we are going to be discussing my past cosplay life. I don't want to say I'm retired, but I haven't cosplayed in a while. I feel like I would have had we not been encrusted in a panini, but I haven't cosplayed in a hot minute. So, do you know anything about my cosplay life other than the closet full of stuff?
I honestly don't know much. I've seen some pictures, but that's about it. Just going through the closet, helping clean that up, getting the nursery ready. Besides that, I don't know much.
Well, let's go through a history of my cosplay.
Okay.
So, I started cosplaying back in 2008.
What got you into cosplaying?
Got me into it was I had always kind of wanted to dress up as my favorite characters, but I did not know there was a word for it or a thing for it. And it wasn't until one day I was Google searching back before there was any censorship on Google and barely any pictures. And I was just looking at an anime that I liked, and I saw somebody dressed up as the character at this big event that looked like other people were dressed up as characters. And I was like, that is what I want to do. What is this? What is going on? Like, it's not Halloween. What are they doing? And this anime is also not very popular. So what is going on? And so that kind of dove me into the rabbit hole of learning what cosplay even was. Costume play cosplay, which unfortunately, due to not really knowing anybody who did it, not knowing any of the history or anything like that, my Japanese teacher told me that it was pronounced cosplay, if it was pronounced Japanese. Since there is no C-O, there's a K-O in Japanese, which is ko, so he was like, well, I would assume then it would be cosplay. So I always pronounced it like that until I went to a con and also made videos and people made fun of me.
I am making fun of you. So what was your very first cosplay?
My very, very first one was from an anime called Loveless. Don't judge. Still one of my favorite manga and anime. Don't judge. I know. Problematic. But it was Ritsuka, the main character. And the very first time I did it, I just pulled it out basically of my closet.
Okay. So explain this character, because this looks like any cat person that I went to high school with.
Basically.
Okay, cool.
Angsty cat boy.
So that's a very, that worked really well. You did a good job, because I got angsty cat boy.
Angsty cat boy.
Okay.
The first time I ever did it was back in 2008, and I decided I wanted to make videos, and so I made a YouTube channel, and my very first video was a music video, almost artistic just piece of me as this character filming just random shit in my backyard.
Okay.
It was precious.
So who's this?
So that is the character that I was, and then since all I did back then was I bought a really cheap wig for maybe $10 on eBay. I bought the ears for maybe $30 from somebody who custom made Neko ears, which was cat ears. And I was all excited. I was like, ooh, I have real cat ears. I was all about it. But then my outfit was just something that I threw together from... Yeah. But the outfit was something that I just threw together from Goodwill. So I really didn't do much. So I upgraded it, and I got a better wig, and I added the band-aid and got the actual schoolboy look to him, so that he actually looked more authentic. I updated it back in like 2015, 16.
Okay.
So it was one I wanted to go back to. And then one that I was doing around the exact same time from the same anime and manga was a character named Gyoji, and that one, Hot Topic, was where I shopped to get the whole outfit for that character, because the artist for the manga likes to dress them up kind of odd and stylistic. So I was like, cool, Hot Topic bitch, that's fine. So my very first, you couldn't tell it's a cosplay. And
couldn't tell that was you.
the picture, well, yeah, the picture ended up being stolen multiple times. I've actually had many people now tell me whenever they see that that was even a picture that I have in my collection, they're like, wait a minute, that's you? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, I saw that a lot on emo and scene forums as people's profile pictures. So my picture was stolen a lot, but so you couldn't have ever told that it was a cosplay. So I then decided to update it to look actually more authentic to the character with the correct outfit and everything like that. With the right ears and everything. So made some ears. Designed
you
it a
made
little
the
bit.
ears.
Yeah, I made the ears.
So
I sewed those ears.
how'd you get them to match the wig so well? Is it the same hair?
Sharpie dye. A lot of learning how to make Sharpie turn different colors and Sharpie dyeing the fur.
Okay. So was the wig already that color, or did
yes, that's my original wig.
So you just color matched the wig, the ears.
Yep.
Okay.
It's my original wig for him.
It's a good match.
And honestly, after 2018, and I think I want to say 13 or 14 is whenever I actually redid it. That poor wig had seen so many things, so the yogurt wig trick worked to save it. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out, how to save your wig with yogurt. It does actually work.
And then make a great dip afterwards with the leftover yogurt.
You do you, boo. And then a little bit later into my cosplay life, I decided I wanted to get spicy and get with Hetalia right when it came out. So that one I bought right off of eBay, the outfit. So I just got an eBay outfit to be America from Hetalia.
Okay.
And that was because we had a little bit of a group and decided we were going to do that. So I've done quite a few different types of cosplay here and there. And then I joined Artful Impersonator. And that was when Homestuck took over my entire cosplay life. And the very first time that I cosplayed I was Dave from Homestuck. So just the generic Dave, generic record shirt, generic blonde wig, got to have the aviator glasses. No biggie. Dave is besties with Little Cal, your favorite, and I've cosplayed Little Cal.
Oh.
So he's looking at my beautiful Little Cal cosplay.
I hate it so much.
I just ragdoll.
That thing just gives me so many nightmares. I hate you so much right now.
I do have the puppet still to this day, and it lurks around the house, and every so often spooks him. So yeah, and then the very first time that I painted in, so I got into gray paint.
Oh, so there's terminology for this?
Yes.
Yes.
So whenever you paint in and you go gray, I was Solux, and I didn't know what the heck was going on. My friends just dragged me into it, and they wanted to take photos, and they said, you look just like him, da-da-da-da-da. So I guess I looked enough like him that made them happy. And then the next one that I did was Car Cat, and that was the one they originally wanted me to be anyway, because I had a bad attitude back then. So apparently I worked very well as a angry Car Cat, because back then I was a very angry little soul. And then everybody knows Matuna, happy little skateboarder.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Mentally challenged little skateboarder that we all know and love. And then I decided to go into a different direction that I really never wanted to do, never really knew if I should do. I cosplayed my first female character, and that was Roxy. And
okay. Still from Homestuck?
Still from Homestuck.
Don't know.
We'll teach him one day about Homestuck, I swear.
Okay.
So I did Roxy for the very first time. Not sure if it was going to cause problems, if anybody would be like, you can't do that. And my boobs were made of plush. I just took stuffing, shoved it into a bra, called it a day.
It works.
Nobody had a clue. Nobody was any the wiser. And then I decided to do God Tier Roxy, which is a lot more intricate. And back then I also was a lot thinner of a human being. So that thing was made to fit me like a glove. It does not fit me now, and it has not fit me for a very long time. I was emaciated back then. So we will never cosplay that again. So that's mainly all of my Homestucks. Obviously I had a few times where like we make them different. Like I had a Gay Dave where the record was rainbow, and I believe you've seen that one where
Probably.
the record was a little rainbow, and we went to Pride, and we've done fun little things for them here and there. But then we got very much into Night Vale. Welcome to Night Vale. And
I
so
love that.
I was
Is that a vest?
Yeah, that's a vest.
Cute. That's cute.
So I was the radio host Cecil, and I've actually done Cecil a few different times. I've taken him to live shows.
Okay.
I've done him a few different ways, just stylistically. I then made my own Cecil design. I went from what everybody else was doing, which was a blonde Cecil, occasionally with a little peekaboo black in the back, to then I decided to make my own with the little cheeks that were kind of galaxy feel. I also made sure, because it is canonically said by Cecil that he has Lyme disease, I occasionally would add in where he'd have a cane, or he'd be in a wheelchair, or he'd have little leg braces, because he's recovering from Lyme disease and whatnot. And I looked up that it makes you have some problems pain-wise and physically, so I wanted to do him justice with his Lyme disease recovery.
Adding the most random details to that's how you really sell the point. You add the most random details of their life, like, well, his second grade teacher was from New York, so that's gonna add this favorite candy that he makes. This is why nobody needs to know that extra stuff.
It stood out to me, and I wanted to.
And you know what? I bet it really
added to the design.
It really made it work.
The worst thing that ever came of it, because I was concerned. I was like, people going to be mad at me that I'm wearing leg braces. They were my leg braces, by the way. I am technically disabled enough that I was like, these are my leg braces. I have to use them for my own issues. But I was like, are people going to be mad about this? Never had an issue. People seemed to just love it. They thought it was cute and everything. Well, then one day, we were at a park. And we're having a Night Vale meetup at the park, and it was so much fun. And then the sun starts going down. And we start noticing that the friendly faces have gone away, and there are some men hanging around now in the park that are not so friendly faced and seem to be standing in positions that look like they are looking for something or waiting for something. And we start getting this kind of eerie feeling of something seems off, and then this guy with a hood over his head walks up to us and very quietly goes, "You all need to leave, and leave now." And we're like, oh, okay. So us being stupid little cosplayers, we're like, hey guys, we should probably leave, it is sundown, blah 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 blah. And we're trying to say our goodbyes and be all sweet. I'm wearing these things that make it really hard for me to walk, and so I'm slow going. All of a sudden gunfire starts up. These cars start speeding into the parking lot, and we are in the middle of a turf war, basically. And so I'm now in these clunky, horrible leg brace things, running for my life thinking this is how I die in cosplay, and I don't know what the coroner is going to think.
I've been in a lot of questionable things, but I don't think I've ever been in full costume after dark in a turf war.
It was so much fun.
Oh yeah, fun.
There was another time in Homestuck Cosplay where I genuinely believed that we were going to die because we were filming in a cemetery, which apparently backed up right into some guy's backyard,
Okay.
and his dog started barking, and we thought nothing of it until he shot into the air.
Okay.
And then another time we were cosplaying in the woods in Homestuck, and we had a character that had really big horns because they're known for their big horns.
Sure.
And we started hearing gunfire, and we're out in the middle of the woods, so we're like, what is going on? Apparently it was deer season, we did not know that, and apparently with big horns, you look like a deer. Thankfully, somebody that, knew us came with a truck speeding and going, you guys look like deer, you need to get out, get in the truck, we are going, come on, because we were apparently being shot at.
That's great.
So many times I've almost not made it through. And every time the coroner would have been like, what happened?
I mean,
who was this person? And why?
if I had a nickel for every time I was shot at in cosplay, I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's kind of weird.
I've only been injured once in cosplay.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
So, we were having a photo shoot as Carcat and Dave, and I have real katanas. You can tell where this is already going. So we were having a photo shoot in cosplay, and a katana may have been swung at me, hit and did not, miss. It went right through my eyebrow.
Oh.
And so I, being in gray paint and dressed up weird, did not want to go to the emergency room until I was cleaned up. And that was a fun thing to try to explain to the hospital, was what had happened, because I didn't want to say the katana hit me in the face, but I finally just said a katana hit me in the face. But I didn't want to say that the person next to me was the one who hit me in the face with it. So I said it fell. It was fun. And then I've also been hurt making cosplay where I had to go get stitches, so that was fun. So I've also done other Night Vale versions of the same character, but this one was a design not made by myself, it was made by somebody else, and I do apologize, I forget their name, but they made Stripper Vale, and I really liked the character design, so I had tattoos.
Oh, bless.
Which were all acrylic paint, and acrylic paint flakes off the body.
Yes.
So, it was not the best idea, but I didn't take it to con, so...
I think there's... Isn't there something you can add to acrylic paint to make it to where it doesn't flake off? I think, I honestly think, lotion or something. It's what face painters use.
Really?
So you can, later, figure out whatever that is, and you could, bring something like that back.
That'd be cool. Or I'll just use Mayeron. Because I like Mayeron grease paint. We had acrylic in all colors, so we just went with that.
What works, works.
Alright, so I've done Tokyo Ghoul many a times. That became my breakout of Homestuck, break away from Night Vale and Homestuck cosplays, and get into an anime that I really, really fell in love with. And so I've cosplayed from it a few times. I've done Juzo many different ways. He is my son. He's a murderous little angel, and I love him. His different designs and whatnot that they've had of him are some of my all-time favorites. I even did him in his dress for the auction, which is only in the manga and only has a few frames, so that was very hard to find how to design that when I only had a few frames of comic to go off of, and very shadowed comic. So I think I did an okay job for what I was handed. And
that looks great.
It was fun to take to con, and I enjoyed it very much. At the same con, I took Victor from Yuri on Ice, which I got him into Yuri on Ice last year.
That's pretty great.
So I did take him to the same con and loved it. But I also, from Tokyo Ghoul, one of my favorite characters in the world, my anime husband, you will be my husband, my real life husband. But my anime husband, Shu Tsukiyama, I have cosplayed him a few times.
What is that in the glass?
Blood. I need to get him into Tokyo Ghoul. He does not know that they eat people. And
I mean, meat's meat and a man's got to eat, but that looked chunky.
It was thick blood. And so, yeah, no, I love Shu. He is my trash husband. I adore him. And then I've also done his cousin, his servant, Kane, which I fell in love with immediately in the manga, and then they have added now to the anime, and I think they did an okay job with the sweet baby.
We still need to watch it.
Yes, we do. And now to go back in time a little bit to one of my cosplays I wish I had got to take to a con.
Okay. So what are the circumstances over this?
So I started cosplaying this character also in 2008, 2009 time from Death Note, Mellow.
Okay.
And so my very first time, awful, horrible. The wig is Party City. I kid you not.
It's very much Little Shop of Horrors.
Kind of, yeah.
They say Seymour's the greatest. And I'm dating a semi-sadist. That's...
My rosary at the time was made of little plastic beads. I made it myself with just sewing string and a little cross thing that I found on the ground somewhere. And, you know, I made it work. I was poor. I was very poor. And then I did update the rosary. I did update the outfit. I updated the wig.
Oh, that's better.
And
that's
I really
so much better. That's
to
so much better.
I wanted so badly to take him to a con, but I never got to, and I do wish. So maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day we can take him to a con, because I was proud that I actually finished him, even though I knew I'd probably never take him to a con. And then a cosplay that I had always wanted to do since childhood, before I even knew what cosplay was, just I love this character, I want to be this character, was Sailor Uranus from Sailor Moon.
Okay.
And so in 2016 or 17, I made my dream come true. I just bought the outfit on eBay, but I made my dream come true when I went to con as Sailor Uranus. That didn't go as planned. I ended up leaving very quickly from the con because I can't walk in heels, number one, and I was wearing heels. I also... I looked a hot mess. It wasn't really... My makeup was horrible that day. And I had a guy grab my butt and keep following me around the con. So to anyone who wears a mini skirt to con and gets your butt grabbed, I feel you. I am sorry. It is a horrible experience. Awful. But I was happy I got to be the character that I had always wanted to be.
Okay.
So that was also a female character that I did. I normally don't do. I have had some androgynous but more female-looking characters, and that would be Linneus from Tea House, which a little girl at Med Fair truly believed that I was a princess, and it just melted my heart.
Aww.
The comic Tea House is... He works at a brothel, so I did not tell that to the little child, but,
That's great.
he does work the trade. So that was fun. Speaking of working the trade, I have also cosplayed and taken to con a character named Yuri from a manga called Bitch Club. Don't look it up. Don't judge me if you know, but I love Yuri and he just makes me laugh. So those are my very sexual characters that I have had. I've also done Sapphire, which you know Steven Universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did Sapphire. That was the hardest outfit, I will say. because trying to figure out the sleeves, and the skirt is actually made of hula hoops to give it that shape. I tiered hula hoops almost like a cake.
Now, did you sew this or did you make this?
Somebody else did, yes.
Okay.
But I helped. Female characters that I've done. I had watched an anime, old anime called Ranma 1/2. Loved it. And so I decided to be Shampoo, which is a female character. And for that one, I bought real boobs. I got like these nice chickeny type of cutlet type of real squishy silicone.
Birdseed works.
No, I wanted real looking boobs, so I got my real looking boobs, and I was happy. And that one I fully commissioned. I commissioned the outfit, I commissioned the wig. That one I knew I could not do on my own. I'm not a seamstress. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And then last but not least, the most recent and the last that I've pretty much cosplayed is Klaus from Umbrella Academy, which I have made him watch Umbrella Academy.
That doesn't even look like you. That's so spot on.
Do I pull off stone?
I think that's one of my favorites of you. That one, the illusion of that one, and then the one, what was it? From Tea House, the androgynous one. Those two are my favorites. Yeah.
So that is a little bit of my history, my life in cosplay. What do you think?
Interesting.
Those are definitely not all of my cosplays.
No. I've been through the clothes. I've been through the clothes with you. I know there's so much more.
But those are ones I've taken to con the most, or like had the most fun at con.
What would be one that you've always wanted to do, you've never actually even got the costume, and you would want to take to a con?
Oh, no. That's hard, because there are so many that
Just
I thought
off the top of your head, what's the first one you come to your head?
I wanted to do Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Okay.
But I did name my dog Hiei, so I guess that just kind of helped to relieve the fantasy.
Okay.
The only reason I didn't do that one was the hair. Scared me. Didn't have a clue how I was going to do that wig. Still don't know how I do that wig.
Okay.
But yeah, my con life, my cosplay con life has been interesting, fun, full of adventures. Thank you for taking this journey.
Of course, it was fun. Now next time I think we'll have to go over what a con is and talk about all that, because I know there's some shenanigans there.
Always con shenanigans, yes. We will teach you the world.
I can show you the world.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time.
See you next time.